Welcome back, YouTube, and as always, I appreciate all the love and support. In today's video, this is something that's well overdue. I shot a video years ago, and that was when Prime was just regular white. The car was all just factory paint, Summit white, and I did a video on the treadwear tire decals, and a lot of people loved it. That video had over 100,000 views. A lot of people bought it, used the coupon code, got their free shipping, which I'm going to be applying the coupon code in the description down below, which make sure you use the coupon code PRIME on Treadwear's website. Enough talking, let's get this video going. Let's go. All right, you guys, so yes, number one, I am sitting on the floor because I'm getting ready to do the install on the tires. I wanted to show you guys, here's the packaging that it comes with when it comes from Treadwear. This is the official brand. Here I go sweating again like some of my other videos that I've had before and I had to apologize about. This is what the packaging looks like when you get it in the mail. Inside the packaging, you're gonna have your tire decals. Now the cool thing with the tire decals from Treadwear's website, you can select the different type of fonts and styles and sizes that you prefer for your car. Right now, I literally just put on the new tires today, and I shot a different video on those, so be sure to check that out. I'll leave the card up top if you haven't seen it just yet. But I went ahead and put some stretched tires on here. So these are now 275 30 20. They used to be 295 35 20. So now I stretched it. No more touching right here. No more touching on the wide body flare. None of that stuff. And the tire decals should not touch anymore on the fenders, which I'm super happy about. On the last set of tires that I had, which were older, when I would lower the car and air it all the way down, it would touch sometimes the tire decal and it would like crush it and all that stuff. And yeah, it was terrible. It was like heartbreaking every time I seen it. But it was time for a new set, so I went ahead and got mine. So make sure you guys get yours. You can put whatever you want in the comments box for the tire decals to pretty much to say. On mine, I selected Chevrolet, which I've had that for years, but I always said, you know what, I'm just gonna put what brand the car is, which I mean, it is what it is. But it's awesome that everybody gets to do that, and they're doing it as well. So back to this. Now I wanted to show you guys inside the package. I've already opened mine up, so that comes off just like that. And this is what you're gonna get from Treadwear, so you know that this is the official Treadwear decal. No naked tires is the hashtag. Inside of here, you're gonna get your tire decals and some sandpaper, which this is P150. And when you use this sandpaper, I'm gonna show you guys in the video, the sandpaper is not made for you to like sand this thing all the way down like you're spraying kitchen cabinets. This is just made to clean up some of the tires and just make sure that there is no grease or oil. These are completely brand new, so I'm not going in too hard on these. But I'm just gonna clean them up a little bit. And what else comes with the package once you get your FedEx package is this little guy right here. And when you open this up, inside is going to be your adhesive that you're going to be using to apply on the back of your tire decals. This stuff sticks like nobody's business. I'm telling you right now, they become like permanent. So when you pressure wash the car, you know, like I do, I don't hold it really close to the rim or tire or the body of the car, whether if it was going to be just paint or a wrap. But even if I did hold it pretty close to this, tire decals, I have never personally had an issue with them ripping off. With me pressure washing the car, me driving the car. In Mexico, I've done 157 miles an hour before. Tire decals stayed on the car. They've been on there for 2 years, those last set that I had on there, and I still had the tire decals on there. I know there's some people, unfortunately, that they fall off the car, but that's like anything else, you know, like for example, prepping the car for paint or painting kitchen cabinets or something like that. You always want to prep it, make sure that's the most important part, which is sanding and removing all the grease off of your tires. Like I said, being that these are brand new, they're not going to be dirty like that. But normally a lot of people might put like tire shine on there and stuff like that. You want to make sure you clean all that and then you sand it. And then you apply this to the back of your tire decal. And when you do that, you literally got within seconds to go ahead and make sure you line it up. Push it on there on the tire. Just hold it. And I wear gloves because from experience, you know, back in the day, I would get some of this glue on my hands, some of this adhesive on my hands, and man, it would take like days for it to go away. It was very annoying. So I started using gloves just in case, but with how many times I've done the swap on the tires and I've had new decals put on, tire decals where I've installed them, I'm pretty much used to it. Just make sure you guys keep this like in the house when you're done with it. Don't keep it in the garage when it's like super hot or super cold, and don't make sure that the cap on here is always put back on and tightened up because you don't want it to dry up and then you can't use it anymore, because if air goes in here, this whole thing inside will dry up, and then now you just wasted this. And it doesn't, I mean, if it happens, it is what it is, because you can always go to Treadwear's website and purchase another one of these if you ever want more, which is pretty cool. What else they give you is they send you 2 nice decals where you can put them on your window or something like that, on your car, on your laptop, whatever the case may be. And they also send you these right here, so that way if you need help trying to line them up and apply on your tire, then you could do that. Me personally, I've always done it with the eye, being that how many years I've been, you know, swapping out tires and putting on tire decals. I'm pretty much used to it. Enough of the explaining of what comes in the package, which is pretty awesome. I don't want to miss that there's instructions in here just in case you missed anything that I said. You can read this, or you can just play the video back and you'll see what I mean. But what we're gonna do is, let me show you right now. This size that I have is the .750. That's the size decal that I have, and they are tiny. If you look at it in the camera, like, that is a tiny decal. But I wanted that because my tires are stretched. My last set that I had up front was 1.3 inch, which that means they're taller. They're taller decals. These are the .75. I think they have .50. I could have sworn I seen that for super stretched tires. So that's pretty cool too. And I chose the racing font. So that's what I've always had for years, and we stuck to that. So big shout out to Lee over at Treadwear. He's always taking care of me, taking great care of me, and I really appreciate that. Let's get straight to the video. Enough of the explaining part. I just want to make sure that I broke it down in detail, what you get, what to expect, and now I'm going to show you how to apply it. So remember, sand first, and then once you sand it, before you put on the tire decals and you put on the adhesive on the back of each one of these, what I do is I use rubbing alcohol and I spray down each one of these. Like, I spray the rag and then I wipe these down in the back where you're going to actually put the adhesive. Then I apply the tire decal to the tire, so that way it just kind of makes it more clean and sufficient and holds up a lot better, which, like I said, I've never had any issues throughout the years that I've had these tire decals, and I always have them on for over a year to 2 years. Never had an issue. The only reason why I change them all the time is because either I did a burnout or something like that, or tires just getting old and it was time to change them. But other than that, they don't go anywhere. They're the best. I'm serious. They're literally the best of the best. So I highly recommend them. I've been using them for years. Let's get to the tire. Guys, check this out. So this is what I do to know exactly if I'm lining these up correctly, because you don't want to put these on top and they look good, and then when you put on the bottom half, it's like uneven, where this is perfect and then the bottom half is pushed up a little too much, where this gap to that gap between the letters is uneven. What you want to make it look like is the top is perfectly straight, then the bottom is lined up exactly even with your rim. What I did is, because I have spokes on here, I've always used like a cardboard box, and this little point right here to where the actual tire decal starts is my guidance. So when I go like this, I know that this line of the tire decal where it begins should be right here with mine. And then when I bring it down, I just put a little mark right there. So every single rim at this point will start from whatever line it is right here. So when I take this line and I put it right here, it should line up exactly where the other tire decal was. That's a good tip for me to use. So wherever this line is, see, I got a little mark on it. This line right here will be my beginning point on my rim. So that way, wherever this is, when I put it right here on the rim, it should have the exact distance where this tire decal started originally, so I can go put them on the front tires. This is the back tires, by the way. What you guys want to start off with, and I know this is gonna kind of hurt to do this because it looks so cool on the car, it has these little pieces of like tire thread sticking out on each one. I forgot what these are called, but you want to make sure you take those off, because when you're getting ready, where the area where you're going to put the tire decal, because when you're getting ready to apply the tire decal in that spot, you don't want it to sit on top of one of these little threads that are sticking out. I don't know, I forgot what they're called, but you don't want it to be sitting on top of that, and then all of a sudden when you're trying to apply it, it doesn't stick completely correct. I mean, it's not the end of the world, but I just want to make sure that, you know, you try to make it as clean and perfect as possible. You just take away all these little pieces right here. You don't need them. It's okay, don't worry. I know it hurts to do it, but you have to. So you don't have to take away all of them. Just take away just enough where you feel like it's gonna end. So if I'm starting right here, I should get to like right there. I should be good. And then what I'm gonna do is, once that's applied, I'll drive the car forward a little bit, do the bottom half, and then we'll be good. I'll move to the other rim. All right, so now that we got that down, I got my rubbing alcohol, so that way I can spray the back of these, each one of them. Even though they're brand new, they're fresh cuts, it doesn't matter. Well, here's what I do. I take all these out, and then I spell out the word first, and I put it on the side, so that way I can get one tire decal at a time with the rubbing alcohol. All right, guys, so finally, after taking my sweet time putting the tire decals on the car, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like now, so that way you guys can get a better understanding what I meant when I was telling you guys to make sure that it's even when you're starting out your points, where you're picking where you want to start out your point on your first decal. So let me turn the camera on. I'm going to show you guys. So as you guys can see from this view, if I turn the camera to an angle like this, you can see that where it says Chevrolet on the top and the bottom, it's pretty much even. So that way when the tire is spinning, what I was trying to explain earlier is make sure that the gap from that letter and that letter is not too far out, where if you would have applied the tire decals incorrect, more towards the right, that gap would have been smaller and that gap would have been bigger. So you always want to make sure that you make it even, so that way when the car is driving or it's parked up, it looks completely straight and even. And same exact thing over here, completely even. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. A good tip that I'll give you guys for the tire decals when you put them on, let them sit for at least 30 minutes before you go drive the car off, and make sure that they're on there. And when you are applying the tire decals on the car, on the tires, make sure that the tires are not hot. Make sure the tires are cooled down, so that way they can stick and all that good stuff. And then after you've applied them and you're good to go, Sky's the limit. The world is all yours from there, my friend. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If it's your first time on the channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button. A thumbs up definitely helps out the channel. Leave me a comment down below. If you're going to be purchasing your tire decals, be sure to use that coupon code PRIME that's in the description. And I'm going to have the link to Treadwear as well, so that way you guys can check them out and get yours ordered. So in the meantime, between time, I really appreciate you guys as always. A Dilla, bow, Prime Time. He's right there behind me. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.